hello everybody. So I haven't written for a couple of days, but I thought I should come on and explain why. I'm just tired, I'm exhausted, I've been falling asleep all day, I cannot do it. My shifts changed this week and they have hit me hard. But that's normal. I maybe should just get a 9 to 5. No, I love me, I'm quite content with my job. But anyway, I haven't written. So I've renamed my soft writing challenge to the Peri Peri writing challenge because of I'm in the perimenopause and the peri peri pepper's hot, so that relates to my hot flushes. And I just think, look, we're dealing with this. It's not like I can escape it and get away from it. I've got to go through it, so we may as well do it with fun. So as writing is my thing to get me through, and it's got me through a lot. Writing and music has got me through a lot in my life, and yeah, so let's do that. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about how I got into writing. So, in my teens, I wrote lyrics and I wrote poems and things like that. Heartfelt stuff, anything I felt, I wrote, and I got right into that. Now, when I say I write lyrics, I cannot sing. I am the sort of person who, if you, well, in my 20s, not now, I don't obviously go around bars and that, but in my 20s, if the bar was full, you put me on the karaoke and I can clear it. I can make sure you can get that bar and get a drink, because I cannot sing. So, and I don't play music instrument. I like to have it a little go now and again, but I am not an artist in that sense. So, but I love my music. So, yeah. So I wrote then, and then I lost all my writing, the whole lot. There was a big file of them and I lost everything. And then life moved on and you settle down and things happen and life takes over and whatever. And you've got to become an adult and things change. So it wasn't something that I kept up. And then at 33 I got sick with a heart condition, an electrical fault on my heart, that they missed because I was born with it, but they found it at 30. We eventually felt I'd been going to the doctor since 19 and stuff, 18, 19, 20, and eventually found it. So I had an intermittent fault. So for the next 3 years I was basically a lot of the time stuck in the house. I think I did do a course at some point at college. That was hilarious, that's another story. But anyway, so I was stuck in the house. I couldn't watch TV because it triggered me heart. Couldn't listen to music with a beat because it triggered me heart. Everything that I wanted to do, I couldn't do. So I had to find something to keep me sanity. And I got back into writing. And I started writing children's books, picture books, and I started illustrating to my capability. I am not an illustrator. I've learned a lot over the years. I've had to go with Illustrator and things like that. And I'm still not perfect. Got loads of ideas. It's just, I don't think there's things that I can finish on my own. But anyway, that's another story. So I did them, and then I moved on and I started writing. I wrote a short story, and then I wrote, in 2015, I wrote a romance, more of a novella length, I think it was. And then 2016, I'm not very good with dates, is when I started, that's when I started my fantasy series. Now, I wrote a 5-book fantasy series. I wrote the outlines for them all, for all the books. I know where they're going. I've written 3. I wrote them as middle grade, and I've gone back now and I'm making them over young adult. I've just learned a lot more on writing since then, and I'm getting better, and it's a journey, and I'm doing it for me, and that's what matters. So yes, so I've wrote those, so I'm busy finishing book 1 off at the minute, but this year I had such big hopes for this year of what I was going to get done, but then I got sick with migraines and things for most of the beginning of the year, and I'm talking like 35-day migraines a week, and I was just wiped out. So we've got them under control, and I'm determined that I'm hitting 50, and it's got to be it's a milestone, and I want to make the rest of this year count. So that's why I started my challenge. That's why it's the Peri Peri Writing Challenge. Because if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. Some of this stuff that goes on. Anyway, You know, I'm sure I've got worse to come with it. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot worse that could happen. So, yeah, so we're going to get through it. And I'm going to use my writing like I always have to get through. And I'm going to use, and my music. So that's why I write and why it's important to me. And why, all these years later, it still hasn't gone. I would have thought by now I would have just given it up. But it just doesn't go. But maybe if I finish this book series. See, on top of this book series, I've also got 3 novellas I've written. Like, but they're just feel goods, and they're more of a journey in life. Sort of novellas. So I'll probably not like publish them. I just like them. And first and foremost, I write for me. And I write what I want to write, and I write because I enjoy it. And I'm losing my voice there. So yeah, so that's just a little insight into me and why I'm like this. And I will see you in the next video, and you know, please feel free to follow along and see where this journey takes us to me 50 days. Let's hope we get it done before Christmas, yeah? Day 10's coming. We're nearly hitting a milestone. Anyway, take care. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.